Alan has taken Jean to the GP surgery. She's been struggling with shortness of breath. Jean's also had a diagnosis of dementia. In this film, we'll clarify the correct procedure for dealing with an ADRT, Advanced Decision to Refuse Treatment, and in what situations it will apply. Hello, Jean. Always a pleasure to see you. What can I do for you today?
I have no idea, Doctor. Alan brought me here today. He said I'm not well. I am a bit tired, but other than that, I'm fine. I've been working all week, and I need to pick my son up from school.
How is Jean feeling?
Well, as you know, Doctor, her memory's not the best. She's not worked for maybe 20 years. And as for her son, Peter's 52 years old.
Peter.
The reason I brought her in is her breathing. It's much worse. She's still smoking as much as 20 a day.
Well, as you know, Alan, Jean's been diagnosed with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Now, we've treated her for many years for that condition, but we can look to review her care now.
I'm wondering what would happen if she was called into hospital. What would happen then? I know she's written an advanced decision to refuse treatment for more invasive treatment. She's said that she does not wish to be resuscitated if she deteriorates. At the time, our neighbour Alice...
Alice? Is Alice coming? Oh, she's such a lovely neighbour.
No, love, Alice isn't coming today. At the time, Alice signed it as an independent witness. At that time, she didn't have dementia. We looked into it and we found that why shouldn't sign as a witness because of conflict of interest, because I'm her husband. But I'm worried that if she required more invasive treatment, without it she might die.
Yes. Well, she gave me a copy of the ADRT and I placed it on her medical record. At the time, I assessed her capacity and I didn't have any concerns. She fully understood her condition and what it meant to refuse treatment for COPD. In fact, I remember at the time we talked about the fact it might be life-sustaining treatment. Jean was clear. She didn't want to live her life on a machine.
Well, yes, I agreed at the time, but now she's become so poorly, I want everything doing for her.
I do understand, but I feel that Jean now lacks capacity to agree to her treatment, and the ADRT is still valid.
What does that mean?
Well, in order for an ADRT to be valid, then the person must be over 18. In the case of refusing life-sustaining treatment, it must be signed and witnessed and clearly state that the decision applies even if life is at risk. In this case, I feel that this is more than Jean expressing her wishes, but a valid and applicable ADRT. That means that in the event that she requires emergency admission to hospital and requires invasive treatment for her COPD, such as intubation, then the healthcare professional would be able to refuse treatment in line with Jean's wishes.
Even if it means she might die?
Yes, Alan. It's an established principle in law that people have the right to refuse treatment. The Mental Capacity Act sets out a way that people, in advance of losing capacity, can state what treatment they would refuse, even if this results in death. Healthcare professionals must follow a valid and applicable ADRT, as if they were making the decision for themselves.
But what about other kinds of treatment for dementia or something physical?
Well, for treatment for physical problems, we can use the Mental Capacity Act. However, for treatment relating to a mental disorder, such as Jean's dementia, then the Mental Capacity Act or the Mental Health Act could apply. Would you like to have a look at the ADRT that I have on file that Jean wrote?
Oh, yes, please.
Give it to me. I'll read it. I wrote it.
No, love. Let the doctor read it.
It's okay. I'm happy to read it for you. To whom it may concern, This ADRT is written in my own hand on the 31st of August 2010 and witnessed by neighbour Alice Smith of 10 years. I have had a wonderful life with my husband Alan, and between us we have had one child, Peter. I have always lived an active life, and these recent months I have struggled with my breathing and have now been diagnosed with chronic COPD and have been prescribed oxygen at home. My doctor has made it clear to me the prognosis and some of the complications relating to my condition in the event I go into respiratory arrest. I would not wish to be a burden on others, and I would not wish to live like this. As such, if I present with a respiratory arrest, I do not wish to be resuscitated or intubated, but to be made as comfortable as possible in order that I can pass peacefully. Signed, Jean James, August 31st, 2010, and that was witnessed by Alice Smith on the same day. Alan, I think it's clear what Jean's wishes were before she was diagnosed with dementia and lost capacity. But you do have the right to challenge this ADRT if you think it's not valid, but you'd need to get some legal advice.
No, Jean's clear on what she wants. She's always been quite clear in all her views. I think she would be most upset if I disagreed with her on this business.
In my view, Jean wrote this ADRT and she made it clear what treatment she wished to refuse and in what situation it would apply.
Thank you, Doctor.
My pleasure.